Hello, it's Burgess Taylor from Journey with Burgess, and I have some new gouache sets in. I got the Maya Hemi set, and I got the Arts set. I also got the brushes with the Hemi set. They're hog bristle brushes. I end up giving those to my daughter. What I like about the Art set, I got the yellow one, which has some pastels in it. Both of them contain 18 colors. They are both 30 milliliter sets. This was stepping out of my comfort zone for me because I've not really been a gouache person. I have the Caran d'Ache pan set of gouache, which is completely different than these. Now they are called hobbyist colors, hobbyist paint set. I don't think it's light fast. It's not professional grade, but this is for me to practice and learn. What I like about the art set is that it gives you this swatch of colors so you know what the colors are. Unfortunately, the Hemi one did not come with that. The Arts one also came with a little postcard for you to color in, and you could send it to somebody. I chose to put it in my journal. Sometimes you want to change things up. Sometimes you want to do a little bit of a different kind of thing. And I have been wanting to try gouache for a while, but I wanted something. I didn't want to spend a fortune on artist grade gouache when I didn't know for sure that it was something that I would want to do long term. So I thought these would be a great way to practice and to learn about how to use gouache and stuff, and then I can go further. I also have a set of Schmincke Academy gouache tubes in the primary colors and then black and white. So I will be practicing with those when they come in, and I will do a video unboxing and review of those. I don't know enough about gouache to do a proper review. All I can tell you is what I like and what I don't like. These were fairly easy to open. I did have some minor with a few of them that were really tough to get open. They are very messy when you open them. They get everywhere if you're not careful. I got them all over my hands, all over the containers, all over my table. I had to go wash my hands several times. You see baby wipes on my table from wiping my hands off. When the baby wipe no longer was enough, I went and washed my hands. So, might see a couple of pauses. I've got this pretty sped up, so hopefully it won't be too long of a pause. But you'll see the paint all over my hands throughout this video. Getting out of my comfort zone is something that I've been trying to do more and more lately. And I am excited about what I'm doing. And I've got some projects in the works for some of this. But I wanted to first just talk about how important it is, I think, sometimes for us to try something very new, and to know when we are trying out something new that we may not be good at it right off the bat. I mean, there are some people who are, and there are some people who aren't. Practice is what works for me. I keep on trying. I practice, and I do stuff differently. I do stuff similarly until I get to a point where I sort of have the hang of it. The gouache, all the colors, these little packs of colors just made me so happy. I mean, they really made me so happy just looking at all these colors. I love art. I love paint, and the fact that I can actually do something with this and play around and have some fun. My daughter and Victor and I can sit down and have some fun with these, and that's what was important to me. So I go through and open up all of these, and you can see where I have a little bit of trouble with some of them, and I'm like, you see I've got paint all over me. Finally, I took the scissors, and I was like, okay, there was that last one that kicked my butt. I took some mixed media paper, drew lines down to make sections, and with a waterproof pen because I wanted to see how opaque they were. From what I understood, the whites were the same. I have 4 whites altogether, so I didn't open the one pack. I was just like, I left it closed. I tried the different colors. I went through, I made swatches of them, and I tried that boar bristle paintbrush, did not care for it, and that's when I was like, you know what, I rinsed it out real good. I gave them to my daughter yesterday. Now these came in, and I practiced, I did the swatching and stuff on Saturday. Saturday was my pajama day. I needed a day to relax, and I stayed in my pajamas all day. I did some stuff. You're going to see the edges of my robe. But that's okay, because sometimes you have to have one of those kinds of days. And I wanted to have fun and just relax. And, you know, it was my rest and relax and have fun day. And swatching color like this was a lot of fun. I realized how thick these were. They're actually pretty opaque. You can add water to them and make them translucent. You can mix them. You can add the white to a color to make it more pastel or lighter. You can add the black to a color to make it darker and more opaque. Mixing of these is actually something that I ended up doing when I did my journal page. Later on, you'll see at the very end of this. But I was surprised by how pretty the colors were, by how juicy they were. Now, I've heard some people, I've watched YouTube videos, and they do, after a few months, they do dry up a little bit, but they can be re-wet, which is why I did not open that extra white one. I didn't need to. I probably could have gotten away with not opening the black, but I wanted to show you both sets and swatch both sets out. The great thing about this is I actually have extra primaries. I think the reds that I have are 2 different shades of red, maybe, but I have blue and yellow, so I have the primaries in both sets, so I can actually do a lot of mixing and get quite a few different colors. So that makes me happy too, because I'm learning to mix watercolor, and now I'm going to be learning to mix gouache as well. Another thing that I thought was really great about this set is it gives you this little mixing plate, and the mixing plate is actually what covers the gouache before you seal it closed. The way that it does, it snaps, the top of it snaps on there, and that little mixing plate goes on top of the gouache, and then the cover goes on, and that's how it's supposed to keep it sealed shut. And you also have a little mixing area. I had no problems with these whatsoever at all. I enjoyed the colors. I enjoyed they don't smell funny to me. The Caran d'Ache pan set of gouache smells like tempera paint. These don't have a bad smell. The case does smell a little bit like plastic, but that's okay. It'll fade after a little bit. I had fun painting this little postcard from Arts, and like I said, it ends up going in my journal. This is my first experience with this kind of gouache, because up until this point right here, I have only used the pan gouache by Caran d'Ache. So trying out the little postcard and doing different things like in my journal pages. I've tried acrylic paints, and I don't really care much for acrylic paints, at least the ones that I've tried so far, because they are sticky. I do have some acrylic paints, and I do on occasion use them for projects, mostly for if I'm going to, say, collage the front cover of a journal or something, but I gave a lot of them to my daughter, and I kept mostly the primary colors and the white. Wish I'd kept the black now, but that's okay. This was fun for me, and like I said, it was definitely out of my comfort zone, but I really enjoyed the whole process. I love to swatch watercolors, and I enjoyed swatching these gouache, and I think I might actually swatch them again. I have a journal that I have created out of a composition book called My Creative Matters Journal, and what I'm doing in that journal is logging all of my creativity and the things that I do. So I'm probably going to end up tipping in the swatches of these gouache palettes, and then I will do some more swatching where I mix the water and I do a darker and a lighter, one with and one without water, so that I can see the difference. I'm probably going to do a little bit of mixing. I might get some more mixed media paper out of one of the spiral bound sketchbooks that I have, and do a little bit of mixing on that just to kind of practice, but I really want to practice more with it. So this is something that is interesting to me. It's definitely out of my comfort zone, and I'm trying to have more art time fun where I'm less serious about things, where I'm practicing and I'm doing sketchy stuff. So like what I sketched in my journal, I ended up sketching in pen. I did not use pencil, and I messed up with the chair, but luckily gouache kind of covers that, so it wasn't too bad. Otherwise, I mean, I hope that y'all have enjoyed this. If you're interested in either one of these palettes, I'm going to leave the link below. It is an Amazon affiliate link. It's there, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. As far as my journal page went, I like how it turned out overall, because I end up using tip-in. I end up tipping in the postcard, and then I took a picture of my chair, and I'm going to print it on my photo paper from my regular printer, and then I will be using that as a tip in, because the chair actually has the blanket and the pillows on it in my picture, whereas this is just the chair. Like I said, the chair, I drew it with pen, and I realized quickly that I didn't do it correctly. Once you put the cushion in it, you don't see all the lines from the chair, all the pieces of bamboo that make up the chair. But that's okay. Practice makes perfect. Not that I will ever be perfect at it, but I'm excited about it. I'm learning, because with gouache, you can go dark to light. Whereas with watercolor, not so much at all. You go light to dark. And I was not quite used to that. I was like, oh, I could have actually put the dark down first. But like I said, practice. So I'm getting to a point where it's all about the trying of new things, and all about having fun, and not worrying about, is it going to turn out okay? I had paint all over my fingers, y'all. Anyway, it's about having fun and learning at the same time. And I'm finally getting to a place where I have some confidence, and I know that there are things that I'm actually pretty decent at, and there are things that I'm not. And it's a matter of practicing and learning, and not being afraid to try. I hear a lot of people sometimes, a lot of times people will message me or comment that they don't know how to draw, or they can't draw a straight line even with a ruler kind of thing. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We don't have to know how to draw. You can learn. And if you can write your name and you write letters, then you can draw. Most of the things that we draw are shapes, so I'm reminding myself of that quite often, and trying to get better at drawing things, and then being okay with, if it's messy, it's okay. The next time I draw it, I'll have learned from the messy version, and it'll be better the next time. And then it'll be even better the next time, and the next time, and the next time. So I'm going to leave you now, and because otherwise I'm just going to be rambling. And I hope that you've enjoyed this. I highly recommend these gouache sets. They're inexpensive. The Hemi one was like $18 because they have a coupon. So not bad. I'm not recommending the brushes. I'll let you know later on if my daughter likes them. I didn't care for them, but she may like them. So I will see y'all again soon. Have a great one, y'all. Bye. Here's the postcard. I'm going to put a picture right here, do a bit of journaling about the gouache right here, and this is how it turned out. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell to make sure that you're notified whenever I create videos. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, and please comment below if you have any questions or concerns, or you want to let me know what you'd like a video about, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye, y'all.